Hello and welcome to Walker Tea Review. I'm Jason Walker. Got a tea, an oolong tea from China today. No, it is not a slimming tea. I don't know. I can't get behind those concepts of diet teas, but this one is a tea that I have high expectations for because of where it comes from, and I'll be talking a little bit about that in just a moment. But I'm going to go ahead and get this tea started. Get out my just regular old everyday daily use teaspoon and scoop out enough to cover again that first say inch diameter of the bottom of this 3.5 to 4 ounce gaiwan. That's and I say 3.5 to 4 ounce because it's a lot of these were crafted outside of the U.S. and so there's a measurements that are actually used. So I just kind of stay in the range of what it would be as far as ounces go. Put in enough water there to really coat the leaves, get them underneath the surface of the water. I still got a little bit of water resting above the rim of the lid there, so that's good. Talking about this tea though, as I said, I have high expectations because this tea is from 7 Cups. 7 Cups has a strong reputation. A lot of the teas that I've tasted from them have come off with positive showings. 7 Cups tells their story very well about how they go and source and find their teas, and seem to give a lot of credit to the actual producers, masters, developers, whatever you want, however you call them. And this particular tea, let's go ahead and introduce this tea. This is from 7 Cups. This is their Da Hong Pao. It's a 2010 harvest. So there's the 2011 harvest will likely come around April, May, somewhere along in there, and then it's going to factor in the transport time to get it to the U.S. This particular package, 25 grams, available currently, when last I checked, I should say, $12.88. Okay, this is from Fujian Province. Harvest time was April to May, and you actually can find out a little bit about the actual master or producer, whose name is Liu Guoying. Looks like tones could be off there because there's no characters. It's only pinyin or the English versions. So we're going to be talking about this tea. Compare it to other Da Hong Paos. Da Hong Paos are some of the more, if not the most famous or more preferred of the Wu Yi line of kinds of teas from that Wu Yi mountain area of Fujian Province. Let's talk about the dry leaf. Nice, slightly sweet, toasted type of smells. You get a sense there's some heat, there's some caramel. And then underneath that, there's something that I detect that comes across to me as toasted white bread. So it's got a sweet, it's got a toasty, it's got a little bit of a nice warm bread type note underneath that. So those are all positive, pleasing, lovely aromas there. So far, haven't been disappointed, but we'll see if this tea keeps to its, is worthy of the general 7 Cups reputation. Leaves here are that deep brownish gray bistre type color. Portions of leaves, I'm seeing occasional leaves here and there. Here's an example of a nearly complete, if not complete, leaf that's over an inch and a half in length. A lot of them are below that measurement, coming in at around half an inch or less. As far as sheen or shine, yeah, they do look like they've got a nice, consistent, smooth brightness to them. I wouldn't say that there's actual shine coming off of them, but they're not dull by any means. So that takes care of our dry leaf here. Let's go ahead and close that up and move along now. We should have had enough. This should have had enough time, yeah, to steep. So that's ready. Got my towel. Serving pitcher, great for looking at the tea. Great for serving more than one person. You get a nice, more consistent cup. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a pour now. Nice aromas coming off already. Those wafting this way. Okay, last few drops to get out. Set that aside for a moment and talk a little bit about this wet leaf here. Give it a smell. Now, heat notes are really coming out now, roasted notes, so as you're getting more, it's almost like a roasted nut. Think of roasted sunflower seeds or roasted peanut. There's some of that kind of note coming out. Stronger heat notes. Especially in the lid, there's something that just momentarily came off as roasted sunflower seed. So it's got a bit of a kind of a, if you could say, a nutty sweetness to it there. That would be the closest approximation. Leaves here, they are somewhat unfurled, not yet completely fully opening up yet. Colors become a little bit more towards the olive drab and greenness there. I can mostly tease this leaf open. So it is not it's not blotchy as if it had been broken, bruised, and oxidized through the middle section of the leaf. Edges are generally also similar in that same, or consistent in color there. I'm looking for an indication of oxidation, reddish aspects along the edge, and so far not seeing a lot of those. I'm going to pull out just one more and kind of quickly look that one over just to get a comparison here. Let's see. So I'll say for the most part, if there is any oxidation, it's minor. I'm not seeing a lot of, actually I'm not seeing a lot of the jagged edge that's characteristic of a lot of leaves as well. So for the most part, the roasting aspect has played into this. I'm not actually seeing quite like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of oxidation, reddish type colors on the edge of the leaf. Okay, moving along though, let's go ahead and give this a taste and look at the liquor itself. Good, I like the nice amber color there. Got a good brightness to it. As it compares to others, it's consistent with other Da Hong Paos in that sense. Nice. It's got a nice, again, heat, roasted type note, but again, there's a sweetness building up under that. There's like a very lightly, faintly scorched caramel, so it's got some nice heat. It's got a little bit of overly toasted, and yet it still has that sweet aspect to it as well. Let's give it a taste here. Color still looking fairly consistent, good clarity as I look down through the cup as well. Let me give it another shot here. The taste, yeah, actually, the taste is not as pronounced as I originally expected. The taste it doesn't hit on the front of the tongue. It hits more towards the middle and the back as you move the liquor back towards your mouth to swallow, and so you do get a kind of there is something that's a little bit tart, a little bit kind of peachy in there. I'm still getting some of that kind of roasted nut aspect, roasted peanut. Still some of that caramel type sweetness. Those play well together, and they combine with a texture, a coating, a light coating that tends to kind of cover the mouth. It's not overly drying. It does have a very light, kind of faint astringency to it, but it's not enough that really is brisk or rough or raw. It's just a nice smoothness that comes out there. aftertaste, I'm still kind of getting kind of a light, moderately mild to light kind of gumminess that's building up, kind of a honeyed sweetness that's getting there. It's as if you had swallowed a spoonful of honey and a little bit just kind of stuck to the back of your mouth, didn't quite go all the way, didn't pass all the way down your throat. And so it just kind of makes you kind of want to smack the inside of your mouth. So that's a nice positive quality. The sweetness tends to build up. It's not it's not overpowering, it's not heavy, but it's not fading or weak by any means. It's mild, and it's consistent, and it's pretty steady as well. And so all those that middle taste, that texture that still kind of stays on the tongue afterwards after you swallow, combined with that kind of gummy sweet aspect that's residing in the back, still residing actually in the back of my throat. Those just really combine well to create a nice, smooth, rewarding cup. Aromas, as the tea's cooled down a little bit, aromas are starting to pick up a little bit more. I'm getting some more of that kind of toasted note that's building up, was able to travel up more into my nose. And now, a little bit more of that sunflower seed toasted aspect combined with a little bit of that kind of peach tangy tartness there as well. So when I look at this tea as a whole, it's got a lot of nuances, and they are well balanced as they kind of weave together. And so talking about this tea, I have to give it a fairly high score. I'd give this tea a 92. It's got some good qualities to it, good, like I said, well-balanced components to it as well. So come back to Walker Tea Review to find out about not only the teas, but the tea companies that consistently bring a good cup of tea before us.